Okay, folks, welcome to the member stock pick request analysis. This is where we review the stock symbols that our members submit for review, and it's free to all members of the Contrarian Trader. So let's begin with the IWM. The IWM is the Russell 2000 iShares. This was submitted by fellow member Josh. He's wondering how we are looking. Well, Josh, to answer your question, fairly bearish action for the couple of days after, let's call this the Vladimir Putin rally, if you believe that. That's what the media was saying. This is all because Vlad decided he wasn't going to invade any more territories. If you could believe that, I have another. If you could believe that, I have another bridge to sell you. Anyway, we saw some consolidation on very light volume for a couple of days, and then we were hammered today on rising down volume. And I had alerted my members that the level to watch was at the 118.49 level. If we failed to hold that support level, we would probably break down fairly quickly, and that's exactly what happened. We tried to recapture it right here later in the day, and we failed. We found support at the 200 period moving average on a 30-minute chart. Closing 30-minute candle, fairly bullish. You'll probably see a pop on Wednesday. Whether or not the rally takes hold, I question it. You're going to have a lot of resistance up here. Buyers who bought back here and up here are now going to want to be made whole. They want their money back. They bought at the peak. So you're going to have some resistance up here. All right, so why am I somewhat bearish in this market? Why don't I believe that we had a Vladimir Putin rally last week? Well, it's because I'm taking a look at China. China has been having a very, very rough week of it. The China FXI 25 index fund is down 4% so far this month. And this being a monthly chart, if we close down below the lower band of this pennant formation, look out below, it means that China is really beginning to fall apart. Note how the slow Stokes are trending down. So keep an eye on China. Vladimir Putin is a sideshow. Keep an eye on China. Because what everybody's going to be worried about is that if China begins to melt down, who has counterparty risk? Remember that term from back in the financial crisis. Next stock up, VTMB, for this is for fellow member Christine, weekly chart. This was our 2014 penny stock pick, and we made 750% when we bought back here, sold up here, and now I have members. Christine asked about this one, looking to get back in. And yesterday, it looked fairly good on the daily chart. The weekly chart looks bearish. Good bottoming tails last week. We have a topping tail this week, so we're trading off the highs so far. Daily chart, topping tails. It implies that you do have sellers above, so I would avoid VTMB right now. It's only a watch right now, Christine. Next one up is Arch Coal. We booked profits on Arch Coal on Friday on this reversal. Then it closed down below support, which was prior resistance. So this is a breakout point failure. When you're in a trading range and you break out and roll over and break back down into that trading range, very, very bearish. It's even more bearish when you break down below the lower band of that pennant formation. Really a 180-degree trip. Not a good sign. We are probably going to come down to $4 per share. And if we break that level, 378 is the next level. Volume rose today. I would avoid Arch Coal right now. I know there's a lot of shorts in the name, but right now it's just not worth it. Next stock up is for fellow member Derrick. I want to take a look at the weekly and the daily chart of Netflix. Netflix on a weekly basis is kind of concerning. You had the past 2 weeks, you had topping tails, meaning that you saw some rotation out, some longs were booking profits. Now this week we broke down, we made a new weekly low, and then when you take a look at money flow overlaid here, we're putting in lower highs. That is not bullish. You ideally want to see, as the stock price moves higher, that money flow is confirming the move higher, and you're not getting that. Now, you saw a divergence set up back here in 2010 and into 2011, and that didn't end all that pretty. So ideally, you want the stock price and money flow to trade together. They're beginning to diverge. Up volume is really dropping off a cliff. It's very, very extended. It's ripe for a pullback. Very, very extended on your stochastics. Very, very extended on MACD. It's a stock that needs a rest. I don't think it's going to collapse, but it needs a rest, certainly. All right, now for a daily chart of Netflix. Obviously rolling over. We had some buyers come in and bid the stock up off the lows on Monday at 432.10. I think we're probably going to come down and retest the support level at 427.97 and then perhaps see a bounce. Volume decline from Monday's up-down volume. You can see your Stoke RSI in a downtrend, double top setup on the ADX line. Stokes are very, very weak. I would be even more bearish on the stochastics of both lines, the fast and the slow line. We're trading below 50, but right now all we have is the fast line. Keep an eye on your Stokes. You don't want to see both of these lines trading below 50. That's bearish. Next stock up for Derrick is ARIA, Ariad Pharmaceuticals. This is a weekly chart. And the reason why I wanted to show the weekly chart is that you have an event coming up. It's a substantial, a really meaningful event in that you have the 50-period moving average threatening to take out the 200-period moving average. We had been in an uptrend off an extreme oversold level. Huge, huge move higher. Yet now we've broken down below the lower band of the rising uptrend channel. I would be on the sidelines with this stock until this event occurs. Let it get in the rear view mirror. And you probably get involved with the stock between $7 per share and $6 per share. That's where your buyers are, as seen back here in December and January. The support level also acted as a pivot point back in 2011, so it's fairly good support. Next stock up is for Hugo. This is Apco Oil. I've been following this one. APAGF. I did a profile on this stock on the week ahead commentary, which is sent out to members this past weekend. I love the double bottom setup. We are right at a resistance level. I would be a buyer on a breakout, good double bottom setup, and you could even see a cup with handle formation. I like Apco very, very much, and I will be sending out an alert to members if and when we do pull the trigger. Next stock up is Fairway Market. This is for Tyler. This is another one I went over this past weekend. Good breakout. I thought it was going to break out. We got the breakout. I think that we could see a rally on FWM up to close the gap. Volume rose. There were a lot of shares in this name. Ultimate Oscillator looking good. I continue to like FWM. Next stock up is the DBA, Multi-Sector Commodity Trust. This is one that we added to our short watch list. And it's very, very overbought. Now has an RSI over 90. This is for fellow member Sam. Sorry, Sam, should have mentioned you. And we are extremely parabolic. Now, if you listen to Jim Rogers has been saying to buy farmland, commodities, farming stocks, et cetera, for several years now. And what you're seeing here, these past, I would say, 4 days, are signs of a top. Last Thursday, you had a doji star formation, which is a sign of indecision. Friday, a neutral day, a reversal day. Didn't close negative, but almost closed negative. A key reversal on Monday, and an exhaustion gap higher on Tuesday with topping action and resistance at 28.80. This is one that I would be looking to short in the short term. Longer term, I'm waiting for a pullback and probably get long as an investment because the weekly chart looks really, really good. Sam, just go back to the focus stock analysis video, which is on the website. You could see the analysis of the weekly chart posted there. Up volume remains strong, so we're going to want to be very, very prudent with opening a short position because the volume still shows that this is a fund under accumulation. ADX line, very, very overbought. Stock is going to fall within the next few days, or the ETF, I should say. Next stock up is PCYG. And PCYG is for fellow member Kate. Kate, we're right at resistance at, say, $10.63. We've pulled back to this lower band of the rising uptrend channel, but I would be careful. Me personally, I would prefer, especially with the markets looking like they may be weakening a bit here, I would rather see PCYG close above this resistance level here in blue. Now, if you're really itching to pull the trigger and you want to have a position in the stock because you love the fundamentals, all right, fine. You could open up a small position on PCYG so you get rid of the itch. You're involved with the stock. You have skin in the game. Just put a stop loss in just below the lower band of the rising uptrend channel. If we close below that level on Friday, I would stop out of the trade, keep your losses small. The slow stochastics, I drew this annotation because they look bullish. They really do. And I wouldn't even said to take the risk of opening up position at this lower band had I not seen the strength on the stochastics. They look really good. MACD is a little bit bull trappish for me. You saw the same action back here. Looked like it was poised to go positive. Failed. That's a bull trap. Same thing could be setting up here. So just be careful. If you're going to do it without waiting for it to close above this support level or resistance level, keep it small. Stop loss just below the lower band of the rising uptrend channel. No harm, no foul. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Yeah, daily chart. Reversal topping tails today. I would wait on this stock. I need to see some strength before I got involved with it. I don't like the bearish action today, and that's very, very short term. Volume was light. I would wait on this one, Kate, until we saw some strength. In short, I'd rather pay more to be right than to take the risk here and to more than likely take a loss. Next stock up for Kate is Ravn Industries, RAVN. Good looking chart. Good support here at this lower band of the rising uptrend channel. You have some resistance with $40 per share. I'm torn on this one. This is another one where it really needs to show me that it could close above, say, $40 per share. You can already see a topping tail at that level, meaning a sign of resistance. The one thing I do like on the weekly chart, we'll drill down to a daily chart, is a double bottom setup here on the Williams percentage R. That's a sign of strength. You saw that prior back in August, September, and it meant a nice rally followed. So I like the Williams percentage R. All right, daily chart of Ravn. They tried to take it down in the morning. They bid it back up, which is bullish. However, it closed off of the highs of the day. If this stock could show a close above 40.15, which it last saw back here, I'd be okay with opening up position, but it would have to close above that level. So just show some patience with it. Not a bad daily chart. Good volume today. So what this volume bar tells me is that somebody, when they saw the pullback, saw a bargain, and they bid it up off of resistance here at $39 per share, which was prior resistance back here in January, now is support. I like that. That's great price action. So the chart of Ravn looks pretty good. Next stock up is for fellow member David. Plug Power, PLUG. Ugly day today, down 41%, 41.5%. This is obviously not one that I would say go running into on Wednesday. At the very least, I would want to see a pullback and a retest of the rising uptrend line here in blue, or a successful retest of $4.40 as seen back here. Volume, huge institutional distribution. I would avoid Plug right now. Another one for David is Fresh Healthy Vending International. Triangle formation. This is a daily chart. Possible double bottom setup. Now, when I say triangle formation, what I mean by that is that you're coming very, very close to either breaking out or breaking down. So it's not a bullish or bearish formation until the price finally goes in the direction that you hope it to. Now, in this case, you're seeing higher lows. Prior low 305, most recent low is $4.75, which is bullish. However, we're also putting in lower highs, which is bearish. Prior high $10.08. Last high was $6.63. Good bottoming tail on Monday, implying that there's support down here. Doji star formation, which is a sign of indecision and a possible trend reversal on Tuesday. My guess is that the path of least resistance is probably higher. Possible double bottom setup, as I mentioned before, on the RSI. We closed down on light volume. Stokes look poised to break out. Possible double bottom setup on Williams percentage R. But I would wait for that breakout and a close above this declining downtrend line. All right, next stock up is for fellow member JP. This is a weekly chart of KB Homes. Now you can see that for quite some time, since August of last year, we had been in an uptrend. This week, that uptrend has broken. We are now trading below the lower band of the rising uptrend channel. This prior lower band will now act as resistance. I would wait for at least a pullback to $17 per share, see if it holds, consolidates. Now, if we break down below this lower band here, expect to see a 15 handle on the stock, and we may just threaten to take out this support level at, say, 1553. I would avoid KB Homes right now. It is only Tuesday. This is a weekly chart. So if on Friday we close back above the prior upper band of the rising uptrend channel, you may be a buyer of the stock because it rallied back and recaptured support. That's a sign of support. Absent that, I would avoid the stock like a plague. Okay, last stock up is for fellow member JP. This is MYGN. And MYGN took a real hit today, down about 8.75%. Big bottoming tail off the lows of the day, which is fairly bullish if you want to pull something bullish out of the day. However, this is one where the markets sent you a signal. Back here on February 21st, the stock put in a huge, huge topping tail, marking recent highs. We pulled back, rallied back, failed to put in a new high. So here's your resistance line. The markets told you that right in this area, there were sellers. So on Friday, when you saw this topping tail, you may not have wanted to close out of your position because you knew there was support at $37 per share. But on Monday, this dark cloud, this red candlestick, implied that there were still sellers up here and that you may want to look to move to the sidelines. And then we got a gap down. Not quite sure what caused the gap down. I didn't look into that. I wouldn't be a buyer of MYGN until we got a successful pullback to $33 per share. Now, I took a look at the 30-minute chart earlier. So let's take a look at that again because there's some value in it. So the 30-minute chart looks good. You have good support at $34 per share. Final 30 minutes of trade look fairly bullish. Good action on the RSI, putting in higher lows. Good volume into the close. Higher lows on the ultimate oscillator. And the Williams percentage R looks like it's putting in a little bit of a cup with handle formation. So 30-minute chart, you may see a pop higher, but I would be looking to get out on any rally. I think that's probably what you're going to see, is that any rally is probably going to be sold. Could be wrong. This is one of those biotech stocks and not my specialty. I don't think it's anybody's real specialty except if you have superhuman risk tolerance. So I would just be really careful with this one. And members, if you didn't see your stock profiled here tonight, trust me, I have a whole bunch more to get to. I wanted to get these out. These are the ones that came in from yesterday. I wanted to get them out today. And if you're looking to place a trade on one of the stocks you submitted today, send me an email. I'll take a look at the chart, and I'll get to it for you pretty quickly so you go into the trading day tomorrow armed. And that's it, folks. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on the homepage, just enter your email address, and we'll get you out our best stock pick alerts video each week, as well as our tutorials on how we like to trade stocks. Talk to you soon, folks, and have a profitable remainder of your week.